Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Episode number 37 of the Stire Sound. I am Trey Stire, your host. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching, you know where to find us. Be sure to spread the love, spread the word. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, follow, like, all of that fun stuff. It helps us out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another wild race this weekend at the Cleveland Supercross. There was a little bit of rain mixing things up, a lot of chaos everywhere you look. And of course, we'll also recap the MXGP of Trentino and some wild point swings over the MXGP series as well. Joining me as always from the Dirt Legal Dirt Bike Depot WMR KTM team, they put a rider into the main events on Saturday. Solid day for the crew. Jack Noel, what's up, man? Marcus Phelps, 2 weeks in a row in the main event, and he got into the show his first Triple Crown qualification, top 15 in qualifying, then P18 overall. Take me through the weekend. I was there. I know what happened pretty much, but for the listeners at home, how was the weekend for the Dirt Bike Depot boys?
Yeah, so obviously coming into this weekend, we had both guys main event Nashville, and their goal was the same, be in the top 18 in qualifying and be able to make our lives easy going into the night show. And it was definitely nice that they condensed the qualifiers, like they put B and A. It wasn't like there was a C group, sorry. Oh. And yeah, like it made it it made it nice because we had a really fresh track and the track hadn't been touched and the track was super dry. So um yeah, the goal was simple, just get out there early and get your laps in and while the track's brand new and sure enough that's what Marcus did in the first session. It took Jace a little bit to get going. I mean, he second session he like or towards the end of the first session, he got everything down, but just never got like a solid time in. So Marks was sitting like 13th after the first one, I want to say, and was looking good going to the night show. So, oh, sorry, well, just waking up. Um, and then yeah, and then Jace just had like a little bit of a mishap in the second qualifier, like went down pretty hard, like landed on his shoulder pretty bad, and he was sitting inside the top 18 before the A group went out. Unfortunately, got bumped out. I figured he would just because the times were so darn close. Like he was only like 1/10 off of qualifying, which I think if he would have been able to get another lap in, he might have been able to improve his time. So yeah, no, it was qualifying was good. I mean, Marcus getting 14th in qualifying. Like you look at where he qualified in Nashville was pretty bad. He qualified like 29th. So for him to be inside the top 15 after he got a 50 or a top 15 in the main event, it's kind of like, all right, like that's where you belong. Like you're not like, you know what I mean? It's not like a fluke that you qualified there. It feels like it's pretty steady because he was able to improve his time in the second session. So I do say like that that's where he belonged that day. I truly believe that. So it was good. And then the main events for Marcus, he first one was kind of rough. He just kind of pumped up early and just didn't get into a flow until like after like the 7 minute mark. So like the last couple laps were good, but at that point he was in like last. Second moto, we were like, dude, you got to go out there and show some elbow grease. Like you cannot get pushed around by these guys. Like you belong up there as much as the next guy. Like screw him, basically. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like not actually screw him, but like just you know what I mean. Don't give an inch to nobody. And sure enough, that's what he did. I mean, he was running inside the top 10 for a little bit and then dropped down to about, I believe it was like 13th. And kind of was in like a little bit of a fight with KP. Just going back and forth with him a little bit. KP got him, and you could almost see like a flip switch in his head, like, I'm going to get this guy back. And after, right before the finish line, he kind of put like a little bit of a block pass on him and was able to make the move. And it dictated his race. Like, he went from what seemed like could have been a drop off like the first race, he stayed in his position and he lost a couple. I think he lost another couple, or he gained a couple spots and then lost a couple spots. But like it really dictated his race because he didn't hit the fade rate, so that was positive. And then the third moto, he got a great start. Like he was in the top
Oh
seven.
yeah.
Like Dude was like right there in the mix. We're like, oh, here we go. Like this is gonna be good. Didn't last very long. He caught some wheel spin up the face of the jump over the start straight. Just kind of sent him in like weird little like
Pushing forward, yeah.
yeah. So he oh, sorry. He like didn't end off the bike, but like he kind of like his feet came off and just was like off the side of the bike, and it's just
It was
was
a
a
rough one. I
yeah a
watched
little
that
bit
one
of
firsthand. I'm like, look
rough
at this. Goose
crash.
is up there, and then
Yeah,
oh,
it's I mean not to say that's typical for Coos, but like I don't know, like in that situation, like you definitely saw he was a little bit nervous and like was just going for it, and like you can't really blame him because like you see Simonson and Shock right in front of him go hit that double over the start straight. It's like if you want to be up there, that's what you got to do. So he went for it and just unfortunately just made a little bit of a mistake. Caught wheel spin. Nothing. I don't think it was his fault necessarily, but just one of those things. And he was okay. A little banged up, but nothing crazy. He's finished the moto. He circulated a little bit. Got 19th. So finished 18th overall. And I think we can't really be mad about how that went at all. I think Jace, if he doesn't go down in that second qualifier, I think his LCQ is a little bit different. He definitely has a little bit of a shoulder pain. It looked like he almost broke his collarbone going after the first moto, after the qualifier. Yeah, good day. Good day for the boys. Can't complain. You're looking forward to Philly normal race, heat races, LCQs. That stuff will be definitely a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to it.
solid effort for the lads at the Dirt Bike Depot program. And really quick, I was at Cleveland this weekend. I had my family out, and they were VIPs with the Dirt Bike Depot crew. Thank you so much, and I've thanked you already for the hospitality for them. They had a great time. If you're a VIP or want to be a VIP with the program at these Supercross rounds, you get some free merch, you get some extended access in the pits, you get a meal in the pits, don't have to worry about food or anything like that. Plus, there's a chance you get a signed jersey at the end of the night. You see one hanging up behind me. My dad has graciously donated it to the first Stire Sound wall. It's a little blurry. My camera, I know, is not the greatest still, but this is Jace Kessler's jersey from Cleveland hanging over my head. If I wanted to, I could pull it down and show the battle scars, but I'm not in a great position for that. But regardless, thank you so much. And shout out to the whole crew. I mean, obviously, I've known you guys for a long time and I'm pretty familiar with you all, but they were really stoked with the program and like Koos was hugging my folks and talking to them like they were his family. I mean, you guys definitely have a good operation over there and shout out to you guys for the hospitality this weekend. Whole family loved the racing. Rob and Amy were already asking. They're like, "Man, we want to get to another race." They're like, "We want to try an outdoor race now." And they're floating around the idea of maybe going to High Point. Of course, that's our local race here in our neck of the woods in West Virginia, but moving on to the racing action, we'll start with the 450 class, and things change once again. You see qualifying. Cooper Webb was looking strong early in qualifying. Some signs of life there. Usually not the best qualifier, we know that, but he was looking good early. Then Hunter Lawrence comes in, takes the fastest time. You're thinking maybe he's going to continue his luck from Nashville. Of course, he got the win there. And then he goes out, wins the first moto, dominates, leads every lap. It's like, all right, Hunter Lawrence show. Here we go. And then things change a little bit. Second race of the day, NBA J Coop was ripping. He was solid up there. Justin Cooper got the win. And it's like, all right, Justin Cooper, Ken Roczen for the win. Hunter was right there as well. Not as good in the second moto. He was fifth, but he's still right there in the fight. Then everything changes in the final moto. Hunter Lawrence goes down in the whoops, then gets back up, loses a bunch of spots. He's running about 11th or 12th, I think. Then all of a sudden he tries to swing wide going in a corner, but Gary Marchbanks also runs wide, clips his rear wheel, goes down again. Meanwhile, Ken Roczen is just up front and dominating. He's got a great gap build up front in prime position for the race win. Cooper Webb's in second, and Roczen does take the win. Wheelies down the start straight. Big tosser over the finish line. Ken Roczen 2-2-1 for the victory. His fourth, I believe now, victory of the season. And Hunter with his crash, he was left a lap down after two crashes. 14th, I want to say, in that second moto. And now the points lead is one again. It's down to one. Hunter still holds the red plate, but barely going into Philadelphia. Cooper Webb second overall. Other than the first moto, it was a solid day for Coop. And then NBAJ Coop. Justin Cooper, P3 overall. He got the race win, but he went down as well. He just kind of flew over the berm. I'm not sure how it happened. I didn't really catch it, but I did catch him getting back on track. There was so much going on. Chase Sexton, P4 overall. Although Justin Hill got him for third in the last moto. Justin Hill, I just looked at the times yesterday, drafting out my Unsung Heroes article. Hill was 3 seconds a lap faster than Chase Sexton at the end of that race. Hill was absolutely charging, and he got him in that short little rhythm right before the big lane, which leads into the whoops. I mean, he just jumped to the inside and then he was gone and took off and he actually set the best sector time through the big rhythm lane on the final lap, which I thought was pretty impressive. Great ride for Justin Hill in that final moto. But here we are again, deja vu for the millionth time, it seems like. Oh, the points lead's tighter. Ken Roczen goes out there. We talk about Triple Crowns and Ken Roczen, of course, his World Supercross experience. He's always so good, it seems like, in those short sprints, but I was looking, I think this was only the second overall win for Ken Roczen in a Triple Crown, which surprised me. I would have definitely had him winning more. I was a bit surprised by that, but regardless, it seemed like a home race for Kenny. Cleveland vibes were high, the Machine Gun Kelly collabs and stuff, and Kenny just went out there ripping. Hunter Lawrence, I think he would have been on the podium pretty easily, maybe third and fourth, mixing it up with Webb if he stays up, but that crash, that was a big swing, drops him to sixth overall. Joey Savacci gets him for fifth overall. Another swing, baby. Here we go. 3 rounds to go, and there's still a lot of racing to go. I think anything can happen at this point after Saturday.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think it's if I thought Hunter was starting to get to that point where he's starting to get like a chokehold on this championship, and sure enough, the rain in Cleveland just the track conditions were crazy, man. Like it wasn't like it was a mudder. Like the second moto for both classes
Oh,
were definitely muddy, but like it wasn't like it was like true
not
mudder where
super.
you're
Yeah,
like paddling through the shit. So the third moto though, like it was really it was like glass under the under the top stuff. Like it was really slick, and I mean we saw in our moto like Coos went down because of how slick it was. Um, just the way they prepped the track, it was good, but it was bad. Like it caused it to not be. Sorry, before I get into the 450 stuff, like it was good and bad. They like prepped it. They didn't water anything. It was super dry. They like tilled everything. They rolled. They didn't till anything. They
very
rolled
dry.
everything in. They packed
You
everything
could see
in.
dust clouds rolling off the track and like Q1 and stuff for those who might
Yeah,
not have been watching.
yeah. It was pretty crazy. So it was like really like dry and like not like icy, but it was just kind of slick and like it didn't really get ruts. It was like really marbly in the corners. Like it was kind of like sand almost. Which was interesting. Like it was kind of cool because like the guys were throwing out like just there's no ruts in the corners. Like it was like just like these guys are just blowing stuff up, and then some of the rhythms would get ruts if there was like a little like sand and stuff. But for the most part, it was pretty dry everywhere on the track. And then like when the main event started, obviously the rain came down. Like the rain never came down in a sense of like Foxborough where it's like just dumping rain, and like it never was like that. It was kind of like light mist almost. Like it wasn't like heavy, but it was like
Yeah. It was
drops. But
steady
it's
for
like
sure, but I would say it was pretty light as well.
I think the forecast only called for like maybe half an inch. So like that's really not that much rain if you look at it. Like it's not gonna puddle really. And like Foxborough, I think there was like probably 3 or 4 inches of
Oh,
rain. So it was pretty crazy. Like it just wasn't that much, and then obviously it didn't rain for that long. Like we kind of it was kind of good because it didn't really affect the racing that much. Like it didn't like give somebody like some random advantage really. Um, but the second moto was definitely the worst one. Then the third moto was just like a weird like condition battle. Like the track was fresh, so like it was just slick underneath everything. So kind of weird. Um, but like it was sketchy. Like it would catch guys out. It was a sketchy conditions. It wasn't ideal for anybody. And like though these are the nights that you win your championships. And I think Hunter Lawrence was probably pushing himself because I don't remember what place he was in when he crashed or if it was on like the first or second lap. Um, just you have to be able to minimize the mistakes in your Hunter Lawrence's shoes. Like you're 9 or 10 points up on Ken Roczen. Like you're getting to the point to where like you can even if you lose to Ken Roczen in Cleveland, like you still can dictate your future by beating him one of the next two race or the next three races. Um, so yeah, that to me is what is cool. Now it's like you have to beat Ken Roczen in one of these next three races, or like you have to kind of. I feel like it's even. Like it doesn't like nobody here holds the red plate. It's like these next three races is like a World Supercross championship, and it's like it's on, dude, for K Rock and Hunter. Like I think it's gonna be a very interesting show. Like how these guys can do it. Like because I thought Hunter for sure going into this weekend. I'm like, yeah, if he goes out there and gets a podium, like I think it's over. Like I don't think unless Kenny wins and Ken Rocks or and Hunter Lawrence is outside the top five, which happened. I don't think Hunter loses the championship. And here we are talking about Hunter Lawrence, Ken Roczen. I think Ken Roczen winning this and having this momentum build after a weekend that seemed to be Ken Roczen's damn near home race for some weird reason. Like crazy. Like the momentum swing is crazy. Like Hunter Lawrence is now like he's really got the pressure of like a championship on his back, and you're facing a guy like Ken Roczen who's just so darn good in these situations and is in a situation where like he could actually like I never thought in 2026 I'd be saying this right now. Ken Roczen has a legitimate chance to win a Supercross title. Like 2017, 2016, like yes. But 10
Even
years
like
later,
2021. I mean, he was leading the
like
points a
yeah,
lot of that season. Yeah.
like it's like wow, Ken Roczen has a legitimate chance to win the title. Like this is serious. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like I think Ken Roczen I want him to win. I really do. I really feel like Ken Roczen can do it. And Hunter Lawrence has got, but Hunter Lawrence also has shown us too, like he can come back from this stuff, like he did in
Yeah.
Nashville. Like it's not like he's not been in this situation before. Like he lost the points lead to Eli Tomac and got it back. Like, granted, I think Eli Tomac's season is completely shattered since Detroit. Like, obviously Hunter going down, him getting the points lead there, but like it's not been.
Yeah.
He's not been good since Detroit. Like I think the wheels have fallen off pre Nashville. I think the Nashville and this it's just like a accumulation of like him not being comfortable, and I think it's interesting. Like I think there's a whole other conversation we could have about the Eli Tomac situation, which is just crazy to me. Which I'll even touch on that in a second. But
Yeah.
Hunter Lawrence,
It's
Ken
definitely on
Roczen,
my list for sure.
like Hunter Lawrence, Ken Roczen, the battle is on, dude. And I think Ken Roczen's got the momentum. Hunter Lawrence is on the fences, dude. Like Hunter Lawrence needs to win in Philly. If he doesn't win in Philly, it's and Ken Roczen does, or Ken Roczen beats him, which then gives him the red plate. You put a red plate on a bike, 2 rounds left, it's scary. And I think Salt Lake in Denver are tracks that I think Ken Roczen will be better at than Hunter Lawrence. Personally, like just out of like Hunter Lawrence is good in some of that, like, but I guess Nashville was probably similar to. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Kenny will be better. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Who knows? But I think it's going to be good no matter what. I think it's. I'm just ready for a good title fight. Like these last three are going to be sick.
I kind of agree with your point. It's weird to think, well, the red plate holder's on the ropes with three to go, but you look at Kenny's stretch, he's went 1-1-3-1, and I would consider the three a bad one, but he still salvaged a podium out of it, which is absolutely huge in hindsight. We get to our episode after Salt Lake City, there could be like 50 moments from each guy where we're like, this won the championship. No, this won the championship. This won the championship. It's going to be crazy. And I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, you have two guys. Hunter Lawrence, of course, is new to this position. Yes, he's fought for playoff championships, but in terms of the 450 class, fighting for a championship, this is new territory for Hunter Lawrence. For Ken Roczen, it's been a long time, almost 5 years since the last time he was in the championship fight, where he ultimately lost to Cooper Webb. And speaking of Webb, he's only 22 down. I keep saying, don't count him out. Don't count him out. I'm not going to. He's 22 down. If something happens, and we saw this weekend, literally anything can happen. Cooper Webb's there. If something crazy happens, I think it's between Hunter and Kenny. But on the off chance that something insane happens, and I mentioned that we were going to talk about it, of course, the other big story of the day, qualifying Q1, Eli Tomac eats it through the whoops, goes down hard, lands shoulder first into the top of one of the whoops. Although hip pain was the reason KTM said that he was out of the race. It is Tuesday morning. We're recording this. We still don't have an official update or word whether Tomac is racing in Philly or not. But Eli went down hard. He goes out on the cart, but then you get word, oh, he's going to line up for the second session. He does line up, gives it a couple laps, but he's clearly not feeling 100%. Rides off the track, and he was a WD. He was a withdrawal for the day. Eli Tomac loses all of that ground. He's basically out of this thing now. And even if he does race this weekend, I don't know how well it will go. But what a bummer for Tomac. He was struggling the last few weeks, but he was still in the midst of that championship fight. He was 15 down going into Cleveland, but an absolutely brutal three race stretch, or two race stretch, actually. You go from tied for the lead to minus 15 to minus 40 or whatever he is now because he lost a whole race. And for Tomac fans, it's just got to be a never-ending extreme because I think back, 2023, he's leading the chip and then he has the Achilles injury. 24, he's not quite in the championship fight, but it was a decent season. It was building back. Then 25, of course, last year he starts out in the fight, then has the leg injury at Tampa. It just seems to be like one step forward, three steps back for Eli Tomac at this point. He's in the mix for a little bit, or for a while in this case, and then something happens. And now Eli's out of it again. Obviously, I know you were with the Dirt Bike Depot crew. I don't know how much you were able to see of the Tomac stuff in Cleveland, but I would like your thoughts on thing because it's a bummer that we see not just a title competitor, but a living legend of the sport. And it seems like recent recent things, this is the trend for Eli Tomac. Either toward the start of the year or toward the end of the year, it seems like something happens, and he hasn't made it through a full Supercross season healthy since 2022, which is a real bummer.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of it might have to do with how if he's uncomfortable or not. Like, I don't think he's the most comfortable guy on a motorcycle right now. I think he just
No,
doesn't look like he's comfortable at all. Since Detroit, I think we've all been saying it. Like
even Birmingham. Remember, he got gapped 30 seconds by Hunter and Kenny.
I agree. Like, and maybe that was a race where he wasn't pushing, but like it could have been that he just didn't have it. He couldn't push because the bike he was uncomfortable. So I don't know what happened after that week break after Indy because it seems like the wheels have absolutely fallen off since then. And yeah, I don't know. This kind of happened with Chase. I want to say too, like in mid season, like he just kind of didn't. He kind of caught like a slump and just was making mistakes a lot. Like this it happened a little bit earlier than Tomac, I think, but like and then he kind of brought it on late. But um, no, it just seems like he wasn't ever like very comfortable in between I want to say like last year, but after like the West Coast round, once it switched east to like then I don't know, right before Pittsburgh or something like that or whatever it was. Um, yeah, no, it's been an interesting season for Eli Tomac. It's sad because I think his fitness wise and his ability has been really good. Like he's obviously shown he can win and it's been fun to watch for the most part. And um
Four wins in the first eight races.
yeah, like he's been right there. Like he's been that guy for the first half of the season. And then like I said, like once Birmingham showed up, like he just kind of hasn't been there. Has he won since Birmingham? I don't think so.
No, he hasn't won since
So
Daytona.
Daytona was his last win, and like I always say, Daytona's like the pivotal race. Like I feel like in years past we've looked at Daytona and said "Look, this is the most important race of the schedule. But like I said, it's Nashville's on the schedule. We got to look at that race instead. But because that's where really it really did fall off because he got handed like a little bit of a gift with Hunter Lawrence going down in Detroit, and he obviously wasn't that comfortable. I think he still finished like fifth that race, but he picked up a points lead. He had the red plate going into the last couple races or going into St. Louis and Nashville. Like Nashville, just a little mistake that's uncharacteristic from Tomac, just to seem like grab some front brake and just put her down.
Small
Like I
slide,
don't know
maybe.
what's going on. So um, it was really weird, man. And then this weekend, the whole crash situation. I mean, the whoops were gnarly. Like it wasn't like I don't think anybody wasn't getting sketchy in the whoops. Like, but it just was. They almost shouldn't have even built them. They should have built like rollers or something because it was just so edgy once like they got broke down because they were so soft. Um, But yeah, no, just ever since that crash, and I saw him after the crash, like going to the Alpine Star medical unit, and he looked obviously discomfort. He had like a big wrap on his arm, and He was standing up though. It's like, and then the fact that this is my thing. This is where I was kind of like, interesting. Like he went out for the second session to see how he felt. Obviously, he didn't
Yep.
feel up to par, but like I feel like there's like enough. If you can go out there and ride on your dirt bike, like the adrenaline will help. You get a Toradol shot. You go out there. You get the pain medicine in you. Like you can ride your dirt bike. At least try to ride in a moto and see like how it goes once the adrenaline kicks in because it does help. Like Jace rode after his crash. Like now, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Tomac. Like, if he really wasn't feeling up to it, like he wasn't feeling up to it. But for me, once you go out for the second session, you're obviously capable of getting on your motorcycle and riding around. So it's like just try, dude. Like you're in a championship fight. Like just it could be a mutter, it could be crazy. Like just try your best. And like I don't know if he would have got any better than 10th, but like at the same time, it's like, dude, I just feel like it seemed like kind of like, well, that's it for me. I'm giving up. And a lot of the times, I think guys give up when their motorcycle isn't what they want, and I think I've noticed that with people that I know that when they hate their bike, they just have no fight, mentally too. So it sucks. I love Eli Tomac. He's such a legend of the sport, and I really hope that we get to see him for outdoors, and hopefully the situation has changed a little bit, and we can see him, at 100%. Which I think is probably what's going to happen. He's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. I don't know why he would continue to race Supercross. That just doesn't make any sense to me. He's obviously out of the championship. So, um, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing him on an outdoor track really and see if he can replicate, his 2022 status of just unrealness and give Jet a fight. Because and also another thing too, I don't know if we can touch on this maybe next weekend or next episode, but the Jet Lawrence thing, I don't know if he's on the bike yet. Like that's kind of like this injury for Jet has definitely been, um, I think one of the gnarliest injuries ever. So. I just don't think they're talking about. And Lars talked about a little bit in the Vital MX show a little bit. I don't know if you watched that or not, but it's been pretty gnarly for Jet Lawrence, I want to say, and hopefully he's able to come back to 100% and be healthy. But it's been sad for Eli Tomac. It's not been ideal, and I wish it would be better because I think he has a great opportunity to win another title. So um, yeah, and I think like that 3 time mark, I think for anybody is like kind of like a status thing now. Like once you win 3, like all right, it's like you did
Yep.
what you had to do, and he obviously only has 2. So yeah, no, I hopefully Ken Roczen and Hunter Lawrence get put on a show for one of their first titles, and I think it'll be great.
Think Tomac, was it the curse of the tooth? You have these curses in any other sport. Maybe we can call it the curse of the tooth because after that incident in Daytona, when the tooth gets chipped, he really hasn't been the same. Maybe that tooth had a little bit more power and stuff than we thought. But
Yeah, shit.
I mean, it's crazy the swings of this championship. Hopefully, Eli can get healthy, get back on track. And I did briefly before we move on to the next topic. I heard somebody in the press box say, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody's like, "Dude, Prado is going to smoke everybody at Paula," and I'm like, "Interesting." I mean. It's going to be fun. Jet coming back. Hopefully he's all good. Hunter, Chase, Jorge, Hayden. I mean,
I
we
mean,
talk about it every
that
week.
that
I'm ready
take is
for
pretty
nationals,
crazy though.
dude.
I wonder who said that. I actually am
I
curious
don't
who said
remember
that.
for sure, but I feel like I heard somebody say like Jorge Prado is going to rip at Paula
It
and
sounds like a
be up there.
math mistake. It sounds like a math mistake. Mathis be saying kind of whatever, just says like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be gnarly at this race," and he's like, "Oh, I was wrong. Who cares?" Like it's just kind of how he is. It's funny.
I mean, like I said, I don't remember, and I don't. I think I know, but I don't want to say it and then somebody be wrong and blow me out for it. But real quick as well, we have this topic, we hear what is Star Yamaha going to do with their second 450 seat? And I was going to talk about this way more, but I'm thinking it's like, do they pick Cooper Webb? Do they pick Justin Cooper? Well, regardless, if things continue the way they're continuing now, I could see it only being a 1 year deal because at this rate, Cole Davies is going to be on a 450 in 2028. I don't know, man. We're gonna see what happens there. But speaking of the 250 class, it was a bad weekend for Cole Davies, all things considered. Overall, yeah, he was fastest qualifier, but you win your championships on your worst days, and his worst finishes this season have been third and fifth. And that shows you what Cole Davies has accomplished this year. And it was a Star Yamaha podium sweep on Saturday afternoon. 5 out of 6 actually between classes. Kenny was the only non-star bike on the podium, but it was Nate Thrasher, it was Landon Gordon, and we'll talk about Landon Gordon a little bit more as well, and Cole Davies. Nate Thrasher, solid all day long, man. You had a bit of a resurgence lately. Like he's been building up toward it. He had the heat race win in Detroit. I know he goes down, but he leads laps. He gets more comfortable. His starts are back in place. Nashville, he's up front, P2 overall. Then finally, he gets the win with a strong performance. Nate Thrasher back on top, and we talk about it earlier in the season. Nate has won a single Supercross at least in all of the season so far, and he continues the streak. This is his sixth year of competition. He's got to win every single season so far in his career. He's got a win streak going. I wonder how long the longest 250 Supercross win streak is because Nate Thrasher's got to be coming up on that mark. 6 consecutive seasons with a race win. Shout out to Nate. Cole Davies, he was down a couple times, hit the deck, but that final race was really a sign like, okay, Cole ain't going anywhere. Cole gets out front, rips the start, and then just takes off from everybody. Nate struggled a little bit in the last race, and you think, well, if somebody can get him, Landon Gordon was kind of hanging on to Cole. It's like, well, if Landon gets Cole, he could win the overall, but Thrasher holds on for the win. And the 250 race is it's pretty good now. If Cole wins this weekend and Seth gets third or worse, Cole Davies is going to be holding up the trophy this weekend in Lincoln Financial Field. He's right there on the cusp. Of course, he's had the momentum for several weeks. Seth Hamaker wins the first race, decent second race, but then he loses the front end in that second or the final race, excuse me, and has to claw his way through the pack. He gets through a lot of guys quick, but then once he got into sixth, I believe, he was right there with the Club MX boys. He just couldn't make up any more ground, and that was that. I think he was fourth overall, I want to say, because of that crash. But regardless, Star Yamaha domination. Cole Davies bad weekend, but still extends the points lead by a couple more. Nate Thrasher back on the top step of the podium. Give me some of your thoughts on the 250 racing in Cleveland.
Just wanted to say shout out to Landon Gordon because that was a pretty impressive couple rides he put in,
Very
and to
impressive.
get a podium on a Triple Crown, it's you have to be consistent. You have to be
He
inside
was.
pretty much the top five every single race, and sure enough, dang near he was, and he almost had a chance to win if he was able to pass to Cole Davies. I didn't think that was going to happen, obviously, but he was right there, man. He stuck with him, and he looked really really good. He looked better than Dudney's looked all year.
Yeah.
So I will give him that, and I don't know how to explain it, but like, I kind of felt like he just not that this is like impressing me, but like because I've heard Daniel Blair say this kid's gonna be not like so much better than Dudney, like whatever, like and so like and Daniel Blair happens to have some of the best takes in the sport. I think sometimes like coming to like just seeing what he's seen and I don't know, he's a smart dude. Um, I just was
That
like,
generational take was all time. I'll briefly
yeah,
throw that out there. That was an all
yeah.
time one.
Like stuff like that. Like he can kind of sense this stuff. Even with Cole Davies bringing him from New Zealand to Gas, like he like that. Now look at him now. Like the dude's unreal. The dude's the best dude on a
Yeah.
250 right now, other than Deegan. Sorry. Um, but like I don't know, dude. Like he was like, yeah, Gordon needs to come in. Gordon needs to race. Gordon needs to race. Gordon needs. This is the best opportunity for Gordon. He's gonna be good. Like sure enough, he's been great. Like I hope he stays. Maybe he's not great on outdoors, but like he's been really good. And don't get me wrong, the talent in the 250 class is still pretty strong. I mean, Shimoda's out, but that's really like the only guy that I think is like a podium contender that's out. Um, you still have Davies and Seth, and obviously Seth I think would have been on the podium if it wasn't for his crash on the start. But yeah, it's been quite impressive from him, and then like always say, we always get Nate Thrasher to get one win in the season. That
Yeah,
I think
it
next
is.
season, whatever team he's on, he's going to get a win. No doubt about it. He's going to get a win somewhere in there. Collect his bonus check and make sure he's getting paid type shit. So, um, yeah. And then Cole Davies, man. I mean, it's been his title to lose, and he's done nothing but win. So, didn't see him not win. I guess is good, but I don't know, just something different. But the 2VD class has kind of become boring. Like Seth is good, but just Seth has had so much bad luck this season, which between penalties and between crashes, like I think he's been pushing the envelope, and I think it's been shown. Like he's trying to do what he can to stay with Cole, and He's just making little mistakes with it. And like I think this weekend after getting what he get like sixth or something like that, fifth maybe.
Fourth.
Oh, he got
Fourth
fourth.
overall, but
So
still lost 2 points.
yeah,
Like I said,
yeah,
Cole had a bad day, and his bad day was third.
yeah. So like it's really like Cole lost. He lost 2 points and he's still 21 down. Like it would have been tough to come back. He really needed Cole to have a rough day.
Yeah.
And he kind of got screwed because that red flag
Yeah,
in the
the red
freaking set.
flag. Cole was down.
Like it's kind of funny because it seems like every single time there's just prayers being sent out for this Star Racing now. My team. I just think about it like that because it was a PC guy down.
It was.
Like I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like I
Hard
mean,
for
I
Drew
get why
Adams.
they red flagged it. Like it sucks for Drew, and like I obviously feel bad, but like Seth is out front. I want to say
Think so. He was up there. I know that.
he's in the top three, and like Davies probably wasn't going to get back up to the at best six probably. Um. So yeah, I don't know. Just stuff like that you think about. Like I've just been saying it
Your
all year, and
agenda continues.
it just seems like everything seems to favor the 37 or blue bike in the 250 East class so far this year. Um, which in that situation, I kind of agree. I think that the race should have been red flagged, but it's definitely like, do they red flag it if it's Seth Hammaker down? You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but it just throws me for a loop. But yeah, no, it's been kind of boring. Like I can't even lie. Like the 250 class racing at the top has been boring. I don't really watch it because we've had guys on the track the last 2 weekends, so it's been kind of whatever. And I think Cole Davies is going to win the title, but I think coming in the future, I think Davies is going to go back to back, no doubt. And then it opens the door up again to see somebody else
Yeah.
win. And I think one of the coasts will be more. I think the Don Davies coast will be more stacked than the Davies coast. So if Davies decides to go race west, I think you're going to see a guy like maybe Kitchen go out there, a couple of those guys, because I don't think anybody's touching Davies either class. I think he's right now in the 280 class
Yeah.
second best guy. So, but Davies should win this title unless he crashes or something crazy. But I mean, anything can happen, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, Seth's been trying his ass off and just doesn't seem like he can get any sort of luck to go his way. So that sucks. But it definitely a learning year for Seth. I think Seth will be. I don't think it's the worst thing to happen to Seth. I think winning a championship obviously is if you can take the championship, take the championship. But you look at some guys' careers when it comes to winning the title. Like I watched the 2017 Vegas race the other night. What
Oh.
happens to Jordan Smith if he wins that title in Vegas?
Oh, I was talking about that with my buddies a while ago, and I'm like, I really don't think anything changes. Like he gets up earlier, but what does that do?
No, but like I don't think he's racing right now. If that's the case, like I
Yeah,
don't
you
I
might be
don't think
right.
there's any way he can like. Cause think about how long he was on 250 for. He went to PC after, or he was on maybe. I think he might have went to PC after
He
that.
was on PC. He was
PC
TLD,
after that.
PC, had a year Firepower, which is Quad Lock now, Star, Triumph. Yeah, I mean, he had almost a decade in the 250s after that, which
Literally.
is
So
crazy.
like I don't know, like I look at it like that. It's like, dude, like what do you like what happens? Because you win that title, you probably stick with TLD, and then TLD
He
doesn't
did
really have
still
like a.
stay with him a couple years, to be fair.
So that's what I mean. Though, like he wins
But
the
yeah,
title,
yeah, they didn't have a
wins the
450
title,
program then.
wins the title, defends, moves up to where?
Yeah, did they put him on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC bike?
I don't know. Like it doesn't make any like he like
Is it
it's his
Baggett and
career
Smith
is set
instead of
up
Baggett
not
and
for
Benny?
success. I can
Yeah,
tell you that much. Like I don't know, and yeah, it was just a crazy scenario where maybe he moves to like Husqvarna at that point because that Ogden wouldn't have won the title at that point. But I don't know. It just would have been kind of crazy,
yeah.
nonetheless. But like I look at it like that for Seth. Like Seth doesn't really have anywhere to go right now. Like Cole Davies, I think I think does because I think you're gonna have Deegan, J. Coop, Davies, and Deegan will have almost 2 years in the 450 by then, and he should be like winning, I would think, or like be competing. So then you have like Deegan, your like top 450 guy, J. Coop, like your BC guy, Davies, your BC guy, like, or even J. Coop could be winning. Like honestly, J. Coop's been running so well. Um, Could be NBA J Cube up there at the top. So who knows? But like, I don't think Cooper Webb. I think after next year, Cooper Webb's gone. I don't think Cooper Webb, unless some other team decides to throw him a load of money, like a load of money. But I think like he's given it one more year after this one, and I think he's done. He's won 3 titles. There's not much more for him to prove other than winning an outdoor title. But I don't think anybody's betting money on that. And then Davies moves into that other spot. I think that's going to be what's happening there. It's only a 3-rider team. Maybe they go down to 2. Jacob gets picked up by somebody else, but I think it's time for some of these guys to wean out of the class. And I really I don't know. I'm not over these guys, but like it's like these guys have been in the class for so long and they haven't done anything like special. Like Barsha, like Barsha's just getting every year. Barsha gets hurt. It seems like and just misses half the year and then collects his paycheck at the end of the year. Ferrandis, I mean, hate to say it, but like Malcolm Stewart, like Malcolm Stewart's quick and all, but this seems like it's an injury thing. When you're 30, 33, 34 years old, it's like, dude, like your body can't take much more of this, dude. Like, and then there's a couple other guys too, like, um, I mean, Ken Roczen, I guess you could say even him, but like Ken Roczen's on the title hunt right now, so you can't really say that. You know what I mean? But like 2 years ago, maybe like Ken Roczen just needs to go. But I think if these guys are winning still, like yeah, but it just seems like it's weird. These guys will throw a win in there, like they'll have like a ride of their lives and throw a win in there like a random time. It's just the team's like, oh my god, yes, like this guy's a champion contender now. Like let's go. Do you ever think that? Like honestly?
I don't know what goes through the heads of the decision makers, but I feel like they're going to take these guys who have raced the 450 class forever because they know what they're capable of and they know what their ceiling is compared to some of these 250 guys who, yeah, they look good in the 250 class, but obviously some guys don't translate to the 450. Some guys look like Superman or on their nights look like Superman in the 250 class, and then they get up to the 450 ranks and they just flounder. And I mean, I think back to like that pro circuit era when they were dominant. Of course, you have Ryan Villapoto, and Ryan Villapoto's an alien. He's insane. But some of those other guys that won titles, like Jake Weimer, won a lights title, never won a 450 race. Brock Tickle won a lights title, never won a 450 race. Some of those guys, Dino, Dino won a lights title outdoors, never wins a 450 race. I mean, some of those guys just they're great in the 250 class. Don't get me wrong, even better than some of the guys we were talking about, like Jordan Smith, I think. But they get into the 450 class. Not everybody's meant to win in the big bike class. So some of these teams are probably like, hey, let's go with a guy where we know where he could be. We know where his ceiling could be. We know he's fairly reliable if he's on track. I think realistically, Ferrandis is getting better. I don't think he's a title favorite by any means, but I think he could be a sleeper to like steal a podium or two outdoors, honestly, because I think the Ducati has way more development and they have way more trust in it outdoors. But it's weird because I think overall in the sport, and I think this is the way it's been for a long time, is if you have a reliable veteran 450 guy, you're going to choose him over an unproven 250 guy who hasn't really had that chance in 450s yet, and you don't know whether he's going to be good or not. But really quick before we move on to the next topic, yeah, as you mentioned, Landon Gordon, I was very impressed as well. 4.22, and he fit right in with the front guys. It wasn't like it seemed like he was kind of racing over his head. I mean, he just seemed very poised, very consistent all day long and he was right there in the mix and he was obviously very happy. He wasn't able to show what he could do in Nashville because he goes down immediately, has the wheel issue, whatever happened there, and is a couple laps down. But Landon Gordon, what a performance, what a ride from him. It was a lot of fun. I was happy to be back at the track this weekend. Great racing. There's so much going on. It was my first Triple Crown covering things, and I'm looking everywhere. It's like there's so much going on. It's almost sensory overload because you're like, where's this guy? Where's that guy? Where's this guy? Oh, this guy goes down. So much happening, but it was a lot of fun. I was thankful to be back at the track. Incredible weekend for myself and my family. But moving on now to MXGP, we talk about title swings and Supercross. We had some in MXGP as well, 450 class. Lucas Coenen goes down first moto at the very beginning, so he's got to claw all the way from the back, only gets up to 12th. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Herlings is up front. He tracks down several guys. He passed Vial, Gajser, then passes Roman Fevre with a couple laps to go and wins the moto. Second moto, it's Coenen and Kai de Wolf out front. They're scrapping up there for a long time, but the Wolf goes down, tips over, loses a couple spots. Coonen's up front. It's like, all right, he's going to take it. Then Coonan makes a mistake, goes down, and here comes Tim Gajser in the Valentino Rossi themed gear in front of basically his home track. Yes, it's an Italian race, but they have the Gajser corner down there. They had all the Slovenian fans there. They were going absolutely insane. Tim Gajser gets his first moto win of the year and first since switching to Yamaha. But Jeffrey Herlings, 2-1 for the overall win. Gajser second overall. And then Lucas Coonan goes 12-3, loses a bunch of points. He was up, I can't remember by how many. I want to say 23 or so going into Sunday because he won the qualifying race on Saturday and Herlings was deeper in the field because he went down. Herlings did score a couple points, I think, but then you get to Sunday and now all of a sudden it's a 4 point gap. Herlings has closed it back up. Lucas definitely had the momentum going into the day. He was fantastic in the sand, 1-1 in the previous round, Rio Lizardo. Then he starts off with a qualifying win. It's like, all right, let's keep the ball rolling. But that early crash, things have changed once again in MXGP. Of course, still very early in the season compared to here. This was only race number 5, and now they have a month off. So here you go, Jeffrey. You get all the momentum. Now you get a month off. And then the MX2 class, it was a bad day for Langenfelder. Kind of similarly to Cleveland, the skies open up right before the first MX2 race. It starts raining, and Sacha Coenen gets out front, does his thing, wins the race. Valan and Perez were also up there too. They had great performances, but Langenfelder was about 12th off the start, and he only got up to 10th and really didn't do anything after that. Second moto was a lot better for him, but Coonan was cruising out front. It was kind of like Sacha and Lucas flip-flopped. Lucas was crashing all the time, and I know sometimes he's crash prone still, but usually Sasha's the one who likes to wad and likes to crash every single race. But Sacha was the one going 1-1 this weekend, and now the MX2 points lead is down to 3. Sacha goes 1-1-1, perfect weekend. Langenfelder, I don't remember where he was the qualifying race, but I want to say 10-3 in the motos. So now that championship is flipped as well. And that was a championship that looked way more like a Langenfelder runaway because we just didn't think, yeah, Sacha has the speed, but he just has never been consistent. And now everything has flipped around. Perez back on the podium. Mathis Villan first podium of the season. He's had a couple bad luck rounds at points this year, so good to see him back on the podium. But MXGP, things changing quickly. Gajser gets a win. I still think he's going to have some ground to make up for sure, but a great sign for him to win the moto on the Yamaha. It's been a tough year the last 365 days or so, even a little bit further than that for Yamaha and MXGP, so that's got to give them some hope and confidence. But now Jeffrey's right there, 4 behind Lucas. Sasha's now 3 behind Langenfelder. Things are tight, but now we get a break, man. Come on, dude. The season's just heating up, and now you're telling me I gotta wait a month for more MXGP? Come on, dude.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a weird time for a break, eh? I mean, nobody really wants it to happen, but maybe it's a time for some of these guys to get a little bit of a break and heal up from what they've got going on. Maybe, maybe it gives them time to test some things on the motorcycle, guys who haven't been hot. So, yeah, it was a good weekend though. I think the 2D class delivered with Langenfelder kind of having a rough weekend, and it just kind of brings the 2D class back to life a little bit because it seemed like it was going to be kind of shitty.
Runaway.
Like it didn't seem like it's going to be very fun to watch. And sure enough, Langfield has a crappy moto and throws away some points. So Sasha Kuhner had a great day. I think he went 1-1-1-1, right? He won all 3 races. So
Perfect.
like he was doing near perfect. And it wasn't an easy first moto. Like the first moto, like Valan and Perez were right there
They
the
were
whole
there.
time.
They were breathing
Like
down
the
his neck.
whole time they were right there. So
What poise
he rode under
from
some pressure,
somebody who
which
we like to talk smack about, and we like Sasha Kunin. He's a fantastic rider, but it just seems like it's like, oh, he's leading. It's like, when is he crash? It's not an if usually. We're thinking, when's he gonna crash? But
yeah.
man, he was solid as a rock. Valan Perez, like you said, right there in distance, and then he just kept her smooth.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then obviously the second moto as well, like just being able to go out there and replicate what he did in the first moto. So, for the duty class, I mean, that's good for a guy like Kuna to show that he can do that and be in the fight. He's only like 4 or 5 down, so it's like
Yeah.
there's some in the tank there for old Sacha Coenen. I mean, I still don't count Perez out. Perez rode a good race this week. He qualified fastest. I mean, he seems like he's coming into form. Some of these tracks like he's been really good at. So I think coming into the later half of the season, Perez will be good. And I know I like Gillum. Like I've been high on him
Yeah.
all year. Just
You're
I hope
you're
he's
Perez fan club president, I think.
yeah, 100%. And but yeah, no, with Sasha and Langenfelder just being up. I mean, I think they're like maybe it's like 25 points, but still a lot. But nonetheless, like we've seen a 23-point gap turn into uh
Yeah.
slim it down. So it's
We see in
anything can happen.
Supercross
Oh
31
yeah,
go to Kenny being one down.
exactly. So like these things can happen, man. It's motorsports, man. Anything can happen,
Yep.
and races can go to shit, and it can be the tides can turn in one day. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like to see these guys. It seems like everybody's kind of getting hot right now too. Like Feb was running up front for a while, and we hadn't seen that really
Weird
all year.
weekend. Yeah. He
Gajser gets a
bad
moto
start.
win.
Just
Gajser
horrible
gets a
start
moto
for February
win.
2nd.
Yeah. Gajser, gets a moto win. Herlings is back on the top side of the podium. Coenen had a bad weekend. Like it's just the
The
whole
Wolves
thing is just
playing spoiler. I think that guy's going to steal results from people. We get to
oh,
another
100%.
Sandy round, that dude is going to be on one. Because the
Yeah.
clips I
So
saw a couple weeks ago from that Dutch National,
yeah. So
he's legit too.
like you said, the Wolf looks good. Vial's right there. Like I don't
Yeah.
really think there's a lot of dudes that are fast. And then like you look at even like a Maxime Renault. Like Maxime Renault could play some
I
spoiler.
knew
Like
it was going to go to Maxime Renault.
Renault was right there. He got fourth. He
Yeah.
got fourth. Or did he get
Yeah.
second? No, he got fourth overall. It was
Yeah, he was off the
Jeffrey,
podium.
Tim, Tom. But anyway, but like there's just a lot of guys I think that can play a little bit of a spoiler in this class and be up there in the mix randomly and kind of throw some wrenches in somebody's championship hopes maybe. So we'll see how it goes. Coonen's obviously rebounded after the shitty first moto went down, but still was able to get a podium finish, I believe. So
Hold on to the red plate though, which is important.
he does have the red plate, so that's good. So I think the GPs. I mean, going into the next, I don't even know what the next races be. I'll talk about for
France,
a month and a
May
half.
24th.
Is it
Lacapelle,
Ernay?
Maribor.
Mary
No,
Vaughn.
Lacapelle this year. Yeah, no
I'll ask
Ernay, which is a bummer. But Ernay's
Tom's
Nations, that's why.
Tom's coming to Tom's coming to Florida this week actually, so I'll see
I think
him.
that's Tom's favorite track too, because I saw a video of the Honda guys, I think before the season. He's like, Lacapelle is my favorite track. So hey, maybe we see the 16 on top again.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, should I throw some money on you to win this weekend or no, dude? Like, what's up? But yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to the GP. The GPs are coming together nice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh
Um,
man, bless you.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a good season in the GPs. I think it'll be good to watch. My dad just sent me the GP TV password, so I'm able to watch those now and
Oh,
get
that's
a good
sick.
grip on that because I was just watching the highlights and that just doesn't ever the
See, I
highlights.
just watched the second motos. Shout out CBS Sports Network for the second moto coverage.
That's
They
good.
show the highlights of the first ones at the beginning. I'm like, all right. And I read the MXGP like recap. Usually I don't watch them anywhere close to live. Like I watch them Sunday evenings usually. Usually watch the NASCAR race in the afternoon and then watch GPs Saturday evenings. But I just looked through the predictions really quick and we thought he was crazy, but the way he's been running, Ed picked Sasha Coonan for the MX2 title. And the way Ed's been
Well,
firing off his predictions lately, we might be screwed, dude.
no,
Sasha Coonan might.
we're dealing with the vet, bro. We can't. He's literally over there watching that
I
shit.
know.
That's
I
all he
know. He's
cares
there
about. He
every
don't even
week.
watch Supercross. You know what I mean? He should beat us. Like that's how I look at it. He shouldn't be. You know what I mean? He should be beating us.
Oh, I'm sure he's paying attention over here, but yeah, he's got the advantage for sure. He's there every week. We're there no weeks. We'll switch now briefly entry list. Like I said, it's Monday morning or Tuesday morning, so probably not finalized here. But I did see Mr. Jackson Driscoll's listed on the entry list. Do we see full tent for the Dirt Bike Depot boys this weekend?
I believe we're supposed to.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure he's
awesome.
racing. So I believe so. I don't see freaking Phelps on there though. What the heck? Go back up.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Like I said, it's far from being finalized.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday morning, usually not great. Ashton Aruda back for the McGinley Clinic crew. A few names back, but nothing crazy. 450 class looks the same, I think. I would expect Colt to be racing. I think it was just stemming from a practice crash. His neck was a bit sore and he really wasn't able to move around a lot, but he should be good to go. Josh Cartwright back again. The Moto Whips boys, I don't see them listed, but Justin Starling just signed with the Moto Whips racing crew.
Oh,
And
SMX next
also,
race. I forgot about
it's the
that.
finals for SMX next. Yes, we have basically the elite of the league. You have to be top 10, maybe top 12 or something to get an invite to this race. But you see there Fapani, Malinowski, Thurman, Bolasina, Andrigo, Landon Gibson, Vincent Way, Fitch, Kiefer, Lawton, Turner, Dennis, Canagier, Menier, Carminati, Cade Johnson, Deacon Dino, Alvin Hill and Cole Timbo, Gavin Betts. Of course, Menier has the win at Anaheim. Cade Johnson had a win last year. He's been a little bit better. Vincent Way won the last time. Was that Birmingham, I believe, the last time we
Yeah.
had one of those races?
Yeah.
Deacon Dino won Daytona. So you got several winners in here. Malinowski won last year at St. Louis in the All Stars event during SMX, the playoffs. So you got a lot of talent in here. Of course, Landon Gibson was ripping at some of the outdoors. He hasn't been as good indoors, but he was ripping at Redbud last year for sure. A lot of talent in here. We're not picking the winner here, but if I had to put money on somebody, and obviously I can't because of my position in the sport, but Caden Menier would be my pick to win this weekend. Like I said, we're not picking these for points or anything like that, but I think he's just the natural guy you want to go with because he's I feel like the most accomplished out of this group. He's usually the most consistent. He has wins outdoors, he has wins indoors. Of course, the SMX playoff rounds last year, he looked very strong at. But now moving into the predictions, and I gained a little bit of ground, still not enough, but I got a random spot, baby. Almost had two of them. If Smitty doesn't go down the first moto, I have two random spots in one race. Luke Clout, shout out to the 101. Give me the random spot. My podium sucked. Jack got Roczen winning, but his podiums weren't very good either. We weren't very good in the podium front, but thankfully I got that random spot to help me out a little bit there. And then we move over here. We're not picking those again, but Ed's got a big lead now. It was close, and then he got Tim and Tom and
Hey,
Perez in their right spots.
I had Valen winning. He almost did too. So I
Yeah,
gotta heads
he
up for
he
that
was up
right
there. I thought he'd have a good round. Although I'm looking now, I was going to pick him for third, and then I went Giannis Razzielis. I'm remembering things now, but I said last week too, I might have jinxed Langenfelder. I'm like, well, if I don't pick Langenfelder to win, he wins. If I pick him to win, he wins. And then last week, he wasn't even on the podium. So sorry, Simon, if I jinxed you, but Philadelphia, the random spots were rough this week. 19th. There's only a couple random spots left to go. I believe
Let me go first.
7th
Let me
is
go
one.
first.
All right, fire away.
All right. I got K Rock winning again.
Kickstart, my heart. Ken Roczen.
Chase Sexton second. Hunter Lawrence.
All right, rapid fire right away. 250 class. Cole Davies
250?
winning, I'm guessing.
No, I got Hammaker.
Ah,
Hammaker
okay,
winning.
Seth. It is home race for Seth as well.
It
Good
is. It's
vibes.
Johnson. Davies.
Yeah, no surprise there. P3,
Then
Dax, Gordon,
I'm gonna go
Thrasher,
Thrasher. Thrasher
Nate
gets the
Thrasher. Random spot. 19th.
all right, Jace Kessler
Jace Kessler back in the main event.
picking it. And then 450. Let's go A Rod.
Oh, look at that. Double dipping for the Dirt Bike Depot crew. Got to get the boys in there. But there's Jack's picks. Ken Roczen to win ahead of Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawrence. Then Seth Hammaker, Cole Davies, Nate Thrasher. Random spots. 19th place. Anthony Rodriguez, Jace Kessler. I'll get into it. Philly 450 class. I like what I saw in Cleveland. I like the confidence. Seems like he's back. We've been waiting on win number two. Cooper Webb's going to win at Philadelphia. I think it just seemed like there's been points this season where Cooper Webb's not super confident, and then he got a little bit of confidence after Houston there, and he won that Triple Crown. He seemed pretty happy, pretty content in the press conference, and he was great in qualifying. And like I said, usually Cooper Webb's not a great qualifier necessarily, but he looked great. He looked comfortable. Maybe it was just a track, but I think Cooper Webb could win this weekend in Philadelphia. So that's who I've got. I've got Kenny P2 right behind him. And in third, I think Hunter Lawrence is going to take the points lead because I think we're going to have J Coop on the podium again. He's just starting to click him off. He's really in that 3-4 range every week. Maybe he's on the podium, maybe not. But I'm going to go Webb Rocks and J Coop for that podium 250. I'm just not picking against Davies at this point. I'm sorry, but Cole Davies, Seth Hamaker, and I'm going to put Daxton Bennick for P3 this week. That P3 fight, it's kind of like, is like I said, Thrasher, Bennick, Lana Gordon, maybe even like Cody Schock, Devin Simonson, because they're riding really well. 19th place, even though I set this up yesterday and had the grid ready to go, I didn't even think about picking 19th place, but he's been 19th around there most of the season. I'm going to go Tristan Lane for 19th. Hopefully, everything's clean this weekend. No T-bones, no crazy takeouts. But T-Lane goes to 19th this weekend. And then 250 class, I mean, I could pick anybody. This is hard. There are so many guys to pick from. 19th position.
I always thought about like CJ Bernard, like he was a good one.
CJ's probably in there. Yeah. I mean,
You
it's
almost
weird
have to
because
think of like a guy who might have like a bad race too, like
yeah, a guy who's like might D and Q or might make it. I'm gonna go
like
Luca Marsalisi.
okay,
There
I
are
like
also
it.
guys that I think could finish like 10th, but also if they have a bad race, go down early 19th. Like Luke Neese could finish 10th or 20th. Gavin Towers could finish 10th or 20th. Some of these other guys, Kyle Peters, if he has a bound around. Luke Clout, I mean, it's hard to pick. I'm down 25, or yeah, I'm down 25. We'll see what happens, but here we are. This has been episode number 37 of the Stire Sound. Thank you so much for listening. We had a lot to cover and to talk about today. Be sure, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, follow the show, subscribe on all of our platforms. You can visit the link tree in my Instagram to view all of the podcast platforms as well as my socials. Thank you so much for listening. For Jack Noel, I am Trey Stire, and the Stire Sound is fading out. We'll see you after Philly, everybody.